So today's video has been burning in my mind all evening, and so I'm so excited to get it out because I really think this is going to be something that's helpful to you. So please stick around and watch until the end so you can get the full intent of what I'm prefacing today. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, if you're not new, welcome back, and let's get into talking about our skills and why we should not ignore the things that we are too good at. So for years, I've really been trying to understand and answer this question: what am I good at? What are my skills? I've literally spent the last 23 to 24 years just going to school, from kindergarten to primary school to high school to college to college to college. And I recently had a break when I finished my first master's, and I took 2 years off, and that's the first break that I had between starting school and kindergarten. And I spent so much time going to school trying to develop my mind and the academic stuff. I didn't give any notice to anything else, right? When I was in school, the only sports that I participated in were netball and cheerleading. And it wasn't like my entire time of high school that I did cheerleading. It was more like closer to the end. And netball was something that I did for my community and outside of the school. And I also did track too. I forgot. I did track too. But the track was not the main focus in terms of athletics. I really wasn't pushed in those directions a lot more. So I think I kind of just tapped out because I don't know why I tapped out, because I have been the one pushing myself through my academic avenues. So I don't know why. I guess I don't know. But when I thought about skills and creativity, I always thought about them as something tangible, like something you can touch and feel, and something that people can obviously see. So when I looked at my life and I looked at my skills and my abilities, and I couldn't see anything that I was so tangibly good at, I just started to wonder, am I good at anything? I spent so much time trying to develop myself to get a job, but do I actually have any skills? And these were my ideas of skills. If you're following and probably wondering, or if you feel the same way, right? I thought about the tangible things like a nail tech, or a lash tech, or a hairdresser, or a fashion designer, people who make clothes, people who were able to make devices and cars, and well, I never really thought about those things as skills. Well, yeah, obviously, and the painters and the people who can draw very well, and people who can decorate and paint and just create beautiful things out of meaningless raw materials, basically. And I don't think I can do any of those things, at least on an excellent scale. And so I just never really understood what my skills were. And I remember once when I was in college, the first time when we did the Cliff's Strength Finders test, and we went through the test, and I got all of this data, went to a career coach, and we were trying to go through it to see like what career paths would fit me. And they gave me like such a long report of all of my skills, but yet still I couldn't see anything. It was just like, okay, you can do this, these are your strengths, but also like, I'm like, where are the skills at? And it's just something that has just really been a hard question for me to answer for a very long time. I remember just watching a lot of different videos and doing the cliffhangers test again, because multiple times you encounter with different people when you're trying to ask this question, they're sending you to the same resources. Am I the only one who experienced that? And you're thinking, I already did this. I don't know what this is saying about my skills, and I don't know why you're asking me to do it again because I already did. But I have multiple stories about this thing, the same thing. Remember, if you watch any of my videos, you hear me talk about my experience in grade 4 with that maths teacher and why now I learn my lessons to go back. And also, when we even look in the Bible, we see where Jesus was telling the disciples to go back and fish, even though when they went out and didn't catch anything. And when they went back the second time, they caught enough where it couldn't even fit in the net. So sometimes going back is probably the way that you're going to discover something, because that time you're going with more wisdom and more intention and most likely more instruction. And so I've always tried to figure it out. I've gone through these tests so many times, and it just feels like I'm connecting with a brick wall and still not being able to answer the question, what are my skills? But I started sitting down and thinking, what do people always come to me for, and what do people always compliment me on? I remember one time when I was gonna make an order for a friend, and I just stood there and I just thought, I don't have enough information to make this order, and I need to find out everything I need to know so I can go. And I asked her like so many different questions, and in the midst of her answering these questions, she was like, man, you ask good questions. Like, if I had a business, I would hire you. And I was like, okay. But for me, it's just a natural thing. Like, I am a natural curious person, and I wasn't looking at that as a skill, because I'm thinking everybody can ask questions. But I ask so much questions, and if I don't understand something, I just cannot move forward, and I just have to ask in order for me to solve the problems, which I'm realizing is a natural thing to me. Like, I am naturally a person who is going to solve something. And many times I see things that people write off and say that, oh, this is garbage, or I don't know how to figure this out. And I just figure it out without even trying. And sometimes we discount things because they feel so easy to us. I don't know why we're so accustomed to struggling in life that we cannot accept something being easy. But that's for another video. But yeah, I just naturally ask a lot of questions, and every single conversation with me is just a bunch of questions until the other person either gets fed up or they get more interested, and the conversations just gets more interesting to me too. And so I was never looking at that as a skill, because I'm thinking, I'm just talking and asking questions. But all of those questions that I ask are very strategic questions, they're very intentional questions, and they always are often help me to solve the problem. And so that is one of the methods that I use to problem solve. Another one of these methods that I use to problem solve is experimentation. I love to experiment with everything. I'm always putting things together. I'm always just finding different ways to think about something and finding how things pair well together and what the outcomes will be. I do this with food, I do this with workout, I do this with clothing, I do this with just about anything that can mix. And it wasn't something that I was trying to do, it's just something that is so automatic to me that I have to do it. If I'm learning to cook something, I'm going to follow the recipe until I get it. But the moment I understand it, I'm going to add my own taste to it. If I'm doing a workout, I'm going to follow that workout if it's a follow along for at least 5 to 10 times or less. And then I'm going to start doing my own thing. It's just so natural to me. I just literally make my own sauces sometimes. I like the taste of them. I put things together and I'm like, okay, I like this part. No, that doesn't go well together. Even the weirdest of things that probably many people wouldn't eat. But I just like to try it and see what it tastes like for me. And then I will say, okay, I'll do this again, or I won't do this again. And so this curiosity of questions, the curiosity is also ingrained in the experimentation, because the only reason why I'm experimenting is because I'm curious to see the outcomes. So my curiosity is a skill. It's something that through my years of academically developing my mind, and probably I was just born with it because I've always been a person who's just trying to figure things out. That is a skill for me. It's one of my main skills, the curiosity, the problem solving, the experimentation, the question asking, Like those are skills. They're not things that I can touch like nail tech. They're not things that I can touch like a lash or a hairstylist, but they are my way of bringing my value to the world. And these are things that I often hear people compliment me on, like, you ask really good questions, or I never thought of that. Like, I have a lot of different ways and perspective that I see in things, and that I bring out in a situation, right? And help people to see too. And by asking these questions sometimes is what help everybody else to see things without me even blatantly saying this is what it is. And so I'm still trying to understand, how do I position these skills in a way that shows my full valve, right? So it's not like I fully discovered it 100%, but as I am paying attention to my quirks and my little habits, as I talked about in one of my previous videos when I said the person who has the most information wins, about themselves wins, it's gathering that information about myself and seeing, okay, because these feel so easy. I don't have to think about it. If you say something to me, the first thing that pops into my head is a question. I don't have to try to ask a question. It's just automatically how my brain works. And a lot of people ask questions, like many people do, but it's just, they ask a lot of questions. And if it's the other way around, where we're having a conversation and you're asking me questions, the question that you're asking me is doing something in my head, because I'm thinking, what are you trying to understand with this question? Because I cannot see leading anywhere. And it's just like the weirdest thing. I don't know how to fully explain it. And even because of this question asking, a lot of people tell me, you would be a great lawyer, because I'm always rebutting or defending or, devil advocating for some point, even if it's not necessarily something that I believe in. But because of the questions that I'm asking and the depth that I'm bringing it to, they're like, okay, you win. And I'm like, we have not even achieved the depth of this conversation yet. What am I winning? And today I literally sat down and I wrote, because of all of these things, the curiosity, the experimentation, the problem solving, I'm thinking, why am I not an engineer, or why am I not a scientist? Like, why did I choose accounting as my field, knowing that I literally have all of these traits that would probably fit under a scientist or an engineer or something of that state? And I didn't really know anything about those fields when I was in high school. And I think that's the reason why I never chose it. And since I already started my accounting from high school and I just followed it up into college, I just took with it and I understood it. A lot of foreign science concepts were foreign to me, and I didn't even know what I would do there. And I wasn't as informed as I am now to understand that you can literally learn anything. So even if I did not have a background in any of these fields, I could learn it. This seems so simple, but I know that for me, I can learn anything. It's just that I just have to find a method that works, and it has to be something that I'm interested in learning, and I know that I can learn it. So I never think like I cannot learn this, or this is too hard for me. I don't know if I've ever thought that, but even if I don't know something fully right now, I can figure out anything. And I think even though as I said, I don't feel like I have the tangible skills, I think this is a skill that I've developed, the problem solving, the figuring out, because I just really think I can figure it out. Even with the least information, I just ask questions until I get more information, until I have every moving piece that I need to do the job. And so I'm still figuring it out fully, but I'm saying all of this to say, if you're in a space right now where you're trying to find out what you're good at, we spend so much time just finding out what everybody else is good at. and doing things in reverse. For example, we're job hunting, or we're trying to start a business, or we're trying to do all of these things, but we're skipping the step where we're understanding who am I and what business would work for me, what job would work for me. And those are things that you think about when you're not operating in survival mode, because when you are in survival mode, you don't have time to think about what job would work. You just need a job to pay the bill. You just need any job. Like any job could work. And after years of doing that, you're realizing like this is not working. I'm starting to hate working, and working is not the enemy. The enemy is misaligned work. It's having work that makes you check your watch 24/7 because you can't wait to get home. Those are the enemies, not the job, not working in itself. Because the working is a blessing. It's the way that we contribute to the world. It's the way that we give back. It's the way that we fulfill ourselves. Like no matter how exhausted I am, after a few weeks of relaxing and not doing anything, I'm gonna have to get up and start doing something. It's just in me, and I think it's just a natural desire for fulfillment. So gathering this information about ourselves help us to see what era we fit in and what era works best for us, what's in alignment. So if you feel like you don't have the tangible skills, probably like I do, and you're in this space where you're trying to figure out what am I naturally good at, a place to start is by just experimenting and doing a lot of different things, seeing what you like, and also hearing what other people tell you that you do well. And of course, there are some things that people are going to tell that you do well and you don't see it as a skill, or you don't see it as something you like or something that you can make money from. But the process of investing in yourself is consistently learning about you and seeing what works, and just trying and trying and trying until you figure it out. Like we only can benefit when we invest in ourselves. There's no losses here. It doesn't matter how much time you spend in anything or doing anything, you can always pivot and figure it out, because at the end of the day, that's the commitment. And if we're not committing to ourselves, what are we doing? So it's a learning curve for sure. There are a lot of skills that you can learn outside of things that you're naturally good at. Like you can learn how to do hair, you can learn how to do lashes, you can learn how to do nails if you're interested in those things. But I'm talking about the things that you're naturally already good at that you're just overlooking because they come too easy to you. So if you're in this space right now and you're trying to figure it out, I'm holding your hand when I say this. You are definitely not alone. I have really been trying to figure this out for a while, and I think I'm at that bridge of a breakthrough, but I'm not through the door yet, but I am catching up. And with every question that I ask myself, with every information that I listen to, that is all helping me to derive at the answer. And yeah, I'm excited to learn about myself, because it's only fair, it only makes sense. You're in this vessel, might as well know every single thing about it. And we think that because that we know ourselves, and sometimes we don't. We are just existing. We don't even know why we don't like certain things or why we do like certain things. We just know that we don't. And the natural curiosity in me just wants to figure out the why all the time. And if that's not a natural thing for you, I would just start asking why. I think that's the best place to start. And then you can go from there. All right. So I'm really happy that I am figuring this out now. I wish I had known these things sooner, because I probably would have made different decisions. But as I always say, like I don't want to dwell on that, because everything that I didn't do right created this moment, and I wouldn't trade it. So knowing what I know now, I'm glad I know it now, because I had to go through everything to be able to know it now. And so I won't discount anything that happened, good or bad. I just have to use the information that I have right now and to make the rest of my life the best of my life. And I wish the very same for you. Alright, so thank you so much for staying until the end of this video. I hope it was as informative and just as a blessing to you as it is for me. And just as I'm realizing about these things about myself, I hope this video sparks that curiosity for you to help you to realize those things for yourself too. Alright, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Khrista-Lee Amore and I talk all things investing in you. If you are my loyal subscribers, thank you for being around. I really appreciate you guys being here and engaging with the video and just showing me a lot of love. Alright, please give the video a like so that it can reach to more people, and share this to everybody that you know personally. Let me know in the comments below, what are you naturally good at? Or were these tips helpful in helping you to figure that out? I would love to know that as well, and the community could also benefit from hearing your skills, because it could also spark that curiosity to think, okay, maybe I'm good at that too. All right, and if you are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you a part of the family. And please follow me on all social media platforms at Khrista-Lee Amore. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Let's go make some mistakes. Bye.